He started acting so funny so fast. My first thought was that he'd taken a drug, and I don't think he's the kind of man who would ever think of doing something so dangerous. Martin said we'd better call the sheriff department. So once again, Jimmy and Levon drove a mile out of town. That got them to our house, and Jimmy pulled on plastic gloves before he picked up the pill bottle. He poured its contents onto the gloved hand with his other hand, and he didn't tell us to leave. We watched. Martin saw it first. He pointed. Levon picked out Jimmy's palm, bent over Jimmy's palm. Damn, he said in a deep voice. One of the pills is smaller than the others and not quite the same size and shape of white. It didn't have the manufacturer initial on it as all the other pain relief tablets did. The difference was obvious when you were looking for it, but without some good reason to examine the medicine, who would think of doing so? We got another one, Jimmy concluded, looking close at Levon. Someone else has been drugged, I asked, trying to keep my voice casual and sort of insinuate the question. Yes'm, Jimmy said, not catching the warning look from Levon as trying to send him. Lady last week left her purse in the cart in the grocery while she walked over to the frozen section to get something or Ida hash browns. When she was driving home, she took a pill from fancy case in her purse that she used to carry some prescription medicines with her. Instead of getting tranquilizer, she went nuts. What'd she do? I asked, fascinated. Well, Jimmy began, treated me with a grin that told me the story was going to be good. We need to get this back to Spaccolec. Levon said pointedly. Huh? All right, Jimmy, aware that he'd been on the verge of indiscretion, flushed by the roots of his reddish hair. When one of Derry's kids shows up, we'll tell them you'd appreciate them moving the truck. The keys were in Derry's pants. I could have brought them out here if you'd mentioned them over the phone. I flushed guiltily. I'd been so excited over finding the pills. I had forgotten why we'd looked in Derry's truck to begin with. I watched as their car turned out of the long driveway and back a short stretch into Lawrencetown. Piqued that I hadn't gotten to hear the rest of Jimmy's story, I wondered if my friend Sally Anderson, a reporter who I guiltily flushed. I'd been so excited over finding the pills. I watched as the car turned out of the long driveway, began a short distance to Livingston. I have to go back to the plant for a little while, Martin said unenthusiastically. I have a stack of letters to sign that need to go out. He climbed back into his car and started it and rolled down the window, and I turned toward the house door. Don't forget, he called. Dinner at the Lowrys tonight. The rain picked up a little momentum. I have it on the calendar, I called back, trying not to sound dismal. If there'd been a can in front of me, I'd kicked it. It didn't seem like a good night to eat out with people I was, at best, on cordial terms with. Close friends, homemade chili sounded good, friendly acquaintances dressed up didn't. Catledge and Ellen Lowry were not soulmates of mine, but they were among the leading citizens of Livingston. Catledge was the mayor for a second term, and Ellen was on every board and a member of every club worth joining in our small town, keeping the town government I don't know what's going on, but someone's making noise, and all I have is cats, so someone just texted me lesbians. Martin's busy, and therefore to a great many of people in Livingston who depend on Pan-Agra for paychecks, they're not that bad, I said out loud, and to my silent house. Even to me, I sounded sulky. I trudged upstairs to figure out what to wear, straightening out the pictures hung on the stairwell, and went up. Gradually, the house warmed and cheered me, as it nearly always did. My house is at least 65 years old, and it was beautifully hand hardwood floors, tall windows that no standard curtains will fit correctly. So every single window treatment has to be custom made, and a voracious appetite for electricity and gas. I love it dearly. We'd had to renovate when we got married. Since we've been married less than 3 years and have no children, only one alleged pet, there's nothing to redo yet. At least not for the basic practical person like me. I still have space on the built-in bookshelves lining the hall, and now I can afford to buy hardbacks. I showered and shampooed, once again going through the tedious process of combing and drying my mess of hair. At least curly, wavy hair was fashionable now. It was pleasant change to have others actually envy me, my abundance, rather than peer at me with pity in their eyes. I flipped through the garments of my closet. Do you have arthritis in your hand? I have arthritis in my left hand. and it goes to sleep. Oh hell, the lotteries would be offended if my glasses were frivolous. I got my new black rimmed ones with the delicate gold wire and bead decoration. Set them out on my vanity table. This morning I put on my favorite work day red specs and viewed them within the mirror. With some satisfaction, they added a spark of liveliness to my unhappy face. So why am I sulky? I asked the mirror. That particular question never got answered because the front doorbell rang.